We are so back, fellas. Welcome back to the YouTube. I have not been doing this for a while. I've been putting it off, honestly. The editing is pretty fucking long, but 2026, Happy New Year to everyone. This is the resolution. We're getting weekly uploads for you, man. Thought I'd chuck myself in the deep end this week and talk about my whole story from little you to 25-year-old fitness coach. And if you don't know me already, if you watch the whole of this video, then you're probably going to know a lot about me. Losing 50 kilograms kind of changed my life, inspire some of you guys, and also just let you guys get to know me a bit more. As a little you, I mean, I was pretty chill, you know what I mean? Pretty good lad, did a lot for my mum. My dad moved away when I was young, so it was just me and my sister and my mum for a lot of the time. There were a couple men that came in and out of the household. But a lot of the time I was like the man of the house, and you know, at that age you can't really do much. You can't be responsible and do shit and, you know, be dependable. I think because of that I kind of just avoided like being active, you know, I sat in front of the TV a lot of time. And you know, you're a kid, that's what you do. You eat crap, you enjoy fucking films and TV shows, and you don't really get any of those responsibilities until you get older. School-wise, had an awesome childhood, you know, had some great quality friends, was always out playing football at the park, and, you know, riding on my bike, and yeah, school was really good actually. You know, did all right, you know what I mean? Wasn't an A-star student, but you know, we scraped through. And when I got to secondary school, like I kind of started noticing myself putting on weight. You know, I was playing rugby as well. You know, I love my rugby. My dad loves his rugby. My whole family loves rugby. So, you know, I played that my whole life. But when I got to like year 5, year 6, I kind of noticed that I was starting to put on weight. You know what I mean? I was bigger than my other mates. I was the big mate out of the group. And then when I got to secondary school, you are kind of chucked into the deep end and you care so much about what people think. I look back now and I'm like, why the fuck did I care about what that person thinks? But you do, you know, it is your whole social life. It's your whole life basically when you're that age, you know what I mean? But I used to play a lot of sports. I was so competitive, like always wanted to win everything. I played like football, cricket, I was tennis team, basketball captain, rugby obviously. What else I do? I did fucking wakeboarding, like who does that? Squash I played a bit, golf. So I've kind of ticked them all off. I thought like doing all these sports would like counteract for weight, but you know, at that point it was just like, what is wrong with me? You know what I mean? You're that age, you're not really fussed about calories or getting in the gym or doing any of that. You're just like, why am I not like my other mates? Didn't really care, you know what I mean? I was young, I was getting teased for it, but like I was young, I was more fussed about like winning in PE and like fucking, you know, having fun outside of that, doing shit with my mates, like playing on my fucking Xbox 360. The only thing I didn't really like doing was running. I remember a lot of times at school, because I was big and like, obviously because like, I don't know, I blamed it on a poor metabolism. So, you know, in the morning, like this probably didn't help, but you know, I'd nick a couple quid out my mum's wallet here and there. And, you know, I'd meet my mates at Londis and we'd buy snacks at Londis, like hula hoops and fucking Oreos and Mountain Dew and just crap, really. So I used to get into a good, like, habit of doing that every day, which definitely didn't help. So I used to go to Londis, eat loads of shit. Then I'd go to school, do like 2 lessons, go to break, have a slice of pizza, a cookie, and like an appetizer. Then I'd probably finish off the rest of the sweets that I had left in my bag. And then before lunch, well, at lunch, I'd have a baguette, I'd have another appetizer, and then I'd probably, you know what I mean? I was that kid that was like running around like, oh, saves on that, bro. Oh, you're gonna fucking eat that. Let me have that when you finish. And because I was teased for it at school, like I was the big mate. People used to call me Meatball. People used to call me Baby Hippo. I used to get milked like a cow. I mean, it's fucking stupid looking back, and it probably did class as bullying, but they were my mates, you know what I mean? That's what happened at secondary school. You got teased, you got shit for it, and you know, it kind of just toughened me up as a bloke, if anything. Accepted, like at the start of secondary school, that I was just a big guy and I was just a big weight, and I was destined to be overweight for the rest of my life. That's kind of when like the eating habits just like plummeted. With the freedom of going to secondary school as well, like that more independent side. I was eating shit all day, then I was coming home and my mum was feeding me well because I was a big guy, but it was always healthy. It was always like ingredients, it was like home cooked meals. Like she did really good. She would never like put crap in the cupboard. Like I used to go to my mate's house and be like, oh my god, you have fucking cereal bars in your cupboard. My mum always fed me healthy food. It was just the shit that I used to do outside of that. The only thing I used to be allowed at home was fruit, you know what I mean? Every time I'd be like, Mum, I'm hungry, she'd be like, eat a piece of fruit. It never really like dawned on me that it was my own doing, and it never really affected me that much emotionally. Like I used to get upset about it, and yeah, I hated my body. I didn't really like what I was doing, and it was more like, why am I eating the same as my mates, but I look completely different? I never really got sad about it. I had a fucking good childhood. I can remember thinking, I just want to prove these guys wrong. Like, one day, like, I will not be fat. You know what I mean? As stupid as it sounds, I used to be like, one day I will not be fat. Don't you worry, I'll get in shape. And then you'll be the fat bastard. Playing rugby, as soon as I got big, they were like, right, you're a front row prop. At that point, it was kind of like excuse that, oh, I'm a loose head. Oh, if I lose some weight, like, you know, I'm going to be less effective on the pitch, or like there's no point, like I don't know how to be a winger, like I don't want to get skinny. It did help me on the pitch. I was getting heavier, I was running over people, like I got into London Irish Academy, like that was a big step for me. I did it every week, you know, me and my mate Toby, who was like my absolute brother, we had same timetables, same everything. We went to the same nursery, lives down the road, we played golf all the time. We played rugby together for years. He's an absolute brother of mine. Shout out Tobes. There was some part of me that wanted to lose the weight. I mean, I remember like getting flowers and perfume for girls, like being an absolute romantic when it came to talking to my crush, or like, you know, trying to make a move at school. Of course, me being the size I was and me having the absolute moon face I did, like I always used to get rejected. No luck with girls at school. I did try. Valiant effort, mate. When I was in year 9, went to Australia to visit my dad. Did like Melbourne for 2 weeks, did the whole Great Ocean Road. So much fun, you know, the whole time we were on the beach, tops off, like doing whatever. I was 14, I didn't really give a toss about what anyone think, anything like that. And I remember like having such a sick time. I remember coming home and just being like, yo, let's see the photos. And obviously my mum was taking photos constantly, and she had loads of me just like with my top off, sunbathing or on the beach, or, you know, swimming in the water, or doing some cool shit in a waterfall or something. I remember seeing those photos and just being like, oh my God, I'm big. I'd never seen it from that third person perspective with my top off so freely. When I was at school, I definitely used to hide myself. Like, didn't really like the school swimming. Didn't really like my shirt coming undone, you know, just a serial like shirt puller. Hey, stop barking, bro. Shit, I want to make a change. I remember getting really upset and like crying to my mum, because I knew that I was playing a lot of sport, and we realised that it was obviously what I was eating. My mum was like, look, I'm feeding you well here. Like, it's obviously what you're doing outside, but, you know, we can lock that in, go on a health kick. My mum also got like, she won in a raffle. It was like a 3-month gym membership to Nuffield Health. We started going there every day. I mean, my routine in year 10 was go to school, don't eat at all. So, you know, stop eating the shit at the shops. I'd not eat a break. I wouldn't ask for anyone's saves. I wouldn't ask for anyone's leftovers, anything like that. I would have a salad at lunch with some ham and some chicken, like on the pack on the side. I'd drink lots of water to keep myself full. Then I'd go to Nuffield Health straight after school. I'd walk there. I'd do an hour of cardio. And then I think I did like 1 set on every single machine every single day. So, you know, there was no muscle building capability, but, you know, it was a big change. You know what I mean? I was still doing my rugby. I was still playing all my sports, but I was doing an hour of cardio and doing some strength training every single day. Within like a month or two, I got down to a stick. There was nothing left on me. It felt really good. But the mindset I had when I was doing that kind of cardio and that way of eating was always like, oh, this is so long. Like, oh, I'm so glad that I only have to do this for a couple of months, because like after this, I'm just going to not do it for like the rest of the year. It wasn't a sustainable thing. And also I didn't realize that fitness and getting into the gym and eating well was like an all round the clock kind of thing. And, you know, you have your ins and outs, but like the way I look at it now is like, as long as you make it sustainable and you enjoy it, and you actually get to that point where training or exercising is like a subconscious part of your routine, lose everything you've just worked for. You know what I mean? It's a constant cycle. That lasted till about year 11. College came and we started drinking lots and doing lots of drugs. Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Like, that was definitely my experimental period. Lots of festivals, lots of fun. And who could blame me? I was 16, finished school, in college, having fun. You know, I was the first lad to turn 18 as well in second year of college, so I was buying all my mates beers. And with college came a pretty well-equipped gym. Me and my new best mate Ross, we had decided that we were going to go to the gym at lunchtime every single day. Fell in love with training. You know, it was more of a competitive thing. Like, a lot of our other mates would come and join in. It was like most of our rugby team boys in the college started squatting, started benching, started leg pressing, doing tricep pull downs, that kind of thing. 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12, you know, the standard beginner year. And I saw a lot of beginner gains, building some muscle, seeing a bits of definition here and there, but still the habits outside of the gym were pretty poor. Training is only, I'd say, 10% of it. The rest of it is your eating, your sleeping, your recovery. And I was doing none of that. I was eating what I wanted, I was drinking what I wanted, I was probably sleeping minimal, getting back at like 4 or 5 in the morning from raves and pies, etc. And recovery, like, I didn't even know what that was. I used to stretch at rugby and that was probably about it. At college, I studied business, economics and PE. We're lifting tin and like, it was helping us with our PE as well. I did realise at college that, you know, I enjoyed training, and I did have that slight inkling that if I do this for years, I could be in pretty good nick. And you know, you're in that pre-workout era, taking protein shakes daily, you're going to have meal deals that are just packed full of crappy protein, but you know, it worked compared to what I was eating on the other side. And after A-levels, university was looming. I did well in my A-levels. I think I got like ABB. Wanted to go to Loughborough Uni. They wanted AAB. So I called them up on clearing and was like, surely you can let me in? Like, come on, I'm a rugby player. Like, I'm pretty smart as well. I'm doing accounting and finance. Her reply was, oh, we can offer you business and drama. I'm going to have my second choice, and that was Swansea. I remember getting there for freshers and, you know, trialling for the rugby team, and I found out that their team had just been bumped up a league to Bucks Super Rugby, and just before that I'd stopped playing for London Irish Academy, which is a bit of a shitter, but you know, we live, we move. I kept playing. I worked my fucking arse off, and the coach saw that in me. You know, I had some good skills from London Irish, the proper good setup, physios, supplements, you know what I mean? We'd have like 4 training sessions a day in the gym, and then as soon as we finished the gym, we'd get on the pitch for an hour and a half. We did video analysis all the time, which was new to me, but at the same time, you are getting absolutely obliterated 3 times a week. You're going to bed at 4 a.m. You're eating whatever you want because, you know, you're getting an allowance from the government. First year was a lot of fun, a lot of parties, a lot of drinking. Obviously, a lot of the time it was like handing in assignments late night, doing all-nighters, smashing Red Bulls, that kind of thing. Most of the time, what I was eating at uni was packs of mints mixed in with a whole bag of penne pasta with every sauce on the sun chucked in, because I didn't really know how to flavour anything at that point. I was just spunking everything in there, all the spices, all my buffalo hot sauce. I had this big old Tupperware, and throughout the day, if I didn't have anything going on, I was playing FIFA 20 in my room, cranking bowls of pasta. It was around 110, something like that. COVID-19 struck. Boom! You gotta fucking get out. All the NHS nurses are coming in here. You're not gonna have a summer term. So yeah, from drinking my body weight in pasta and beer to coming home and living at home constantly. Smoked so much weed that year. Had a lot of money left over because they'd refunded us from first term. Playing shitloads of Warzone. Not eating crap, but just like, you know, sat down all day. You weren't even allowed out. So what I used to have was 2 big bagels, 3 pots of tuna, then like probably 5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. So I think I ended up putting on more weight. And when I came back and started living with my housemates like Pete, Sammy, Yusuf, what a year that was. I mean, we were still in COVID. And I'm not going to delve into too much, but we had a lot of fun. We were still in COVID. We were probably ordering like 3 Deliveroos a day. I was only really allowed to leave the house to go for training. On the coffee table, we'd have like 4 monitors and 4 PS4s, and we'd have no headset. That was a good year then, made some quality friends for life. After that one, I mean, final year, I tore my AC ligament in my shoulder, which was pretty gutting. As a rugby player or anyone that's played sport or has done their shoulder in, they know that's pretty fucking killer. Put on a load of weight again, and I think I got to my peak in like final year at like 138 kilograms. I remember getting on the scale and going, fuck. I decided to make a change, and I started having stretch marks come up on my stomach as well. I don't like that. How do I reverse this? And truth be told, you can't. You started building good habits. I started getting in my steps. I read. I used to go for like sea dips, like beach walks. I was journaling every day. Obviously, you're still at uni. You're still having fun. I still had that distraction. Constantly trained. Built a load of muscle. Squatting like 215 kilograms, which was like mad. I just never really got to reveal it. That was the only good part, like physically and fitness wise, that I kept going. You know what I mean? Especially with the rugby and stuff. It was always like, get stronger, you'll play better. So that was just a constant in my life. 48 Brim Road, man, that was chaos. Shout out Kai, shout out Craig, shout out Buzz, shout out Jalen, shout out the boys. That was jokes. Shout out Yusuf. And then I came back and was like, right, I'm graduated, I'm not really playing rugby anymore. Like, I need to make a change. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. And now I don't have those distractions. I can crack on with this discipline I've built and, you know, build off of that. I made a plan. I was going to eat. Well, basically, Eddie Abu was pretty big at that point. So I kind of clocked onto him and was like, I don't need all this, like, beige food and junk and rubbish. Like, let's just stick to real. And I like my eggs, I like my meat, I like my avocados. Let's try to stick with that and like add in some fruits here and there. Prioritizing my sleep, getting an eye mask on, doing habits before. I was doing sauna every day after the gym. I was cycling to the gym, I was stretching, I was meditating, I was breath working. I was doing the most, basically. I also got a job with my family friends, labouring for them. I was in construction. I was on my feet most of the day, digging holes. I kind of knew I didn't want to do that my whole life. It wasn't for me. I'd done accounting and finance at uni, so the other option was get a graduate role and get into the corporate world and go that kind of route. And I remember just sitting around thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I need to get away. I need to go experience something and have some fun. I remember texting my mate Jal, who I lived in with fourth year, great friend of mine, one of my boys. He was like, yeah, I'm going to Thailand for a bit, like do some Muay Thai, have some fun. And I was like, oh my God, I am on that. So this is the year after I lost quite a lot of weight. We went to Thailand for 6 months, still ate well, still trained all the time, you know, had our drinking nights here and there, had a load of fun, had some of the boys come over, and that was pretty chaotic. But for the most part, we were moving about and training Muay Thai and hitting the gym now and then. Just meeting loads of people out there, networking, getting to know people like crypto mandens, fitness coaches as well. And I remember like specifically talking to one of the fitness coaches, and I was like, look, I post content. I've been posting content for about a year. Like, I've used it to keep myself accountable, hopefully spread some knowledge about eating and inspire some guys that were used to be in the similar position to me. It was like, mate, like, you should just be a coach. You know what I mean? You've got the content down. Just be a coach. I could do that. Hopefully be able to, you know, go see a bit more of the world and work with people that I want to work with, and be able to go to the gym every day and you know, have that kind of freedom. It wasn't a case of, oh my God, I want to fucking escape the matrix and make a shitload of money. It was just like, I just want to work for myself and have that flexibility, you know? So I came home from Thailand, picked up a job at Amazon at the warehouse. I used to start at 5:30, get out at 12. And that extra time allowed me to start working. And I started up with a mentor, shout out Sol, took on so much value. Yeah, when it came to content, started a YouTube channel. And that's what I had to do. I had to chuck myself in at the deep end. I had to invest in myself and learn off people that had done it. The progress from that year after I finished uni, I lost 50 kilograms in 8 months. If you're interested in coaching, feel free to drop me a message or click the link in my description. There'll be a Calendly link so you can book a call, or yeah, we can just have a chat about your goals for 2026. Remember that when I did lose that 50 kg at the first time I saw my abs, it still makes me smile now. It's probably a bit cringe, but like, I remember looking in the mirror, like filming myself and going, oh my God, I've done it. And they were always there, you know what I mean? But I'd only just seen them now, and that was from hard graft. With the lack of drinking, it was like the only time I would drink was at Christmas time with my family, and also when I go to Twickenham. Because of that, I had no brain fog, I had nothing. I just had, you know, like tunnel vision towards becoming a coach and helping mates and being able to put the best content out I could. And I knew that at some point I'd use this and have this as my permanent job. After a year in the making of, you know, becoming a coach, being the best coach possible, now we're here, 2026. I'm 25 years old. I'm a full-time online fitness coach and content creator, I guess. I just want to help as many people as possible, you know, reach their fitness goals that they may think are impossible. You know, big lads that are trying to lose crazy amounts of weight, lads that are training hard and not seeing the results. Cringe as it sounds, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about, you know, being able to work for myself, firstly, having that flexibility. But actually, when I get a result with a client, or, you know, they do something that they thought they never could, you know, they see their six pack or put on some muscle and have, you know, seen some growth or lost a good amount of weight or have had a full night's sleep and woken up feeling refreshed and energized. That is the best part. That is the most giving part. That is the most rewarding part. That is the most fulfilling part. And that's why I want to build this up. And that's why I want 2026 to be the biggest year possible, because, you know, I want to affect and improve as many lives as possible. If this has resonated with you, or you just like me as a bloke, apply for my one-on-one coaching. If not, drop me a follow on my Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, a comment, subscribe, do everything you can, click that bell notification, and yeah, I will catch you in the next one, fellas. See ya.